A very good day to all. On behalf of Dr. Rakesh Kumar Singh and myself, Dr. Rekha Srivastav of Motilal Vigyan Mahavidyalaya Bhopal, I extend a very warm welcome to all scientists, zoologists, researchers, academicians, and those enthusiasts who care about their own welfare and welfare of humanity. The topic of our presentation is biochemical composition and nutritional value of fishes. This is not only beneficial for the learners, but also who are health conscious and diet conscious too. We are sure that this will go a long way in spreading awareness about the usefulness of fishes, not only for the learners, but also for various other people who care about the usefulness of fishes. So, from times immemorial, fishes have played a very important role in our lives. Fishes have not only an important role in our lives, but also they play a very special role in nutrient cycles. They store a very large proportion of nutrients of ecosystem in their tissues. They transfer the stored nutrient to other aquatic animals as well who feed on them. And they also excrete the nutrients in dissolved forms that are available to primary producers, thus forming an important part of ecological niche. Biochemical composition of fishes. The biochemical composition of fishes varies widely even within the same species. The four major constituents of edible fishes are, as you can see, water, that is maximum in the quantity 65 to 90%, protein 10 to 22%, fats 1 to 20%, and minerals 0.5 to 5%. Besides these carbohydrates, vitamins, nucleotides, other non-proteinaceous nitrogen compounds are also present in small quantities. Though quantitatively these are minor components, they are essential for the development of an animal and they play a vital role in maintaining the systems. The major health benefits is the presence of omega-3 fatty acids. I'm sure you all must have heard about this. Vitamins such as vitamin D and B2, that is riboflavin. Fish is rich in calcium, phosphorus, and a great source of minerals such as iron, zinc, iodine, magnesium, and potassium. One of a very special thing about fishes is the value of proteins is very high. It has a stable composition of essential amino acids, although there is a slight deficiency of methionine and threonine. Lysine is present in excess, which is lacking in other cereals. Proteins are mainly present in the skeletal muscles, and myofibrillar protein is a protein that forms myofibril and contains myosin, actin, tropomyosin, troponin, and actinin. Myofibrillar protein is nearly 66 to 77% of the total protein in fish meat, and protein present in stoma is barely 3%. Plankton eating fishes are rich in protein content. Fishes also have some non-proteinaceous nitrogen compounds. These are peptides which make fish very tasty. Fresh amino acids like histidine, which is more in red mussels. Volatile bases like ammonia, trimethylamines, creatine, taurine, betaine, histamine, glycine, and citric acid, etc. And also nucleic acids, which is one of the important non-proteinaceous nitrogen component. Fat content of fishes is also very important, and on this based is the quality of fishes, their economic importance, and also their costs depend on the quantity of the fats available in the body of fishes. The different fat quality also depends on various other parameters like difference in species, temperature, food, etc. And the difference in fat contents also depends on their gonadial cycle. On the basis of fat content, the fishes can be classified as oily or fatty, average fatty, and lean, as we have normally heard, which have fat which is less than 1%. Fat contents of fishes are of lipid group or the glyceride group of fatty acids, and the esters of fatty acids and glycerol constitute the storage fat of fishes. Fat is also distributed in all the tissues of the body. In some tissues, fat is present in extraordinary amounts, which are called depot fats. The PUFA or the polyunsaturated fatty acids are large in content in fishes. These are divided into three families: oleic, linoleic, and linolenic acids. Fishes contain more omega-3 than omega-6 PUFA, and they're collectively known as essential fatty acids, that is EFA, and they're essential for normal functioning of any cell, and especially the oleic acid, that is omega-9, linoleic acid, that is omega-6, and linolenic acid, that is omega-3. Besides this, phospholipids are also present, and which is variable in content in fishes. As you can see, it is present in quantities from 0.1% to 0.7%. Important minerals are also present in the body of fishes, and the content is 1 to 2%. The maximum content is found in bones as compared to other parts of the body. And some of these minerals are boron, fluorine, bromine, lithium, and strontium. Some quantity of zinc, barium, aluminium, lead, cobalt, nickel, mercury, and cadmium are also present. Phosphorus is present in some sufficient quantities in various forms, as you can see. Now we come to a very important part, which is the constituent of fishes, and that are vitamins. The vitamins are organic compounds of varying complexity. As you know, they are indispensable substances, and some of the vitamins that are found in fishes are A, D, E, and B complex, which includes mainly thiamine, riboflavin, and nicotinic acid. These are present in fishes, which is a chief source of these vitamins. These are not evenly distributed in the bodies. For example, vitamin A and D are found mainly in the internal organs of the fishes. Vitamin A concentration is higher in larger fishes. You can see it is approximately 96 to 100%. Then vitamin B is mainly found in liver, eyes, skin, and kidneys. And B1, B2, and B12, they're found in red colored muscles as compared to white muscles. About vitamins, vitamin D is abundant in liver oils in fishes such as cod and halibut. The flesh of oily fishes like salmon, tuna, sardine, herring, etc., is also an excellent source of vitamin D. As you can see, vitamin E, that is alpha tocopherol, is present in fish liver oil. Besides these, you can see various coenzymes forms of vitamins found in fishes. One thing is very important, that is carbohydrates, uh, which is in negligible amount in fish flesh. You can see this is a very interesting table regarding chemical composition of various species of fishes, which includes the moisture, fat, protein, ash, calcium, phosphorus, and iron. This we have compiled using various fishes like various popular fishes like Sirina, Labio, Katla, Hilsa, etc. And you can see the maximum moisture is in fishes like Sirina, Labio, and maximum protein is in fishes like Tortor and also Heteropneustes. and this is an indication of the chemical composition, yeah, and the chemical constituents of various important fishes. Now, this is a table of chemical composition of some marine fishes. This is a very interesting table because this is also expressed in moisture, fat, protein, ash, calcium, phosphorus, iron. And one interesting fact is visible as you see through this table is that fat content in a number of marine fishes is nil. So this conclusion is very, very interesting that marine fish have very less fat. Now this is a table regarding relative proportion of amino acids in fishes as compared to various other animal proteins. This is a comparative chart which shows that fish muscle has definitely a large amount of amino acids, and that too as compared to other body parts, the fish muscle has a maximum amount of amino acids. And comparing these amino acids, you can see lysine has the greatest proportion, that is 9, followed by others like leucine, and also some others like arginine and valine, which are present in lesser quantities. This is the digestibility coefficient and biological values of fish proteins. As you can see, the digestibility coefficient of so many fishes is very high, especially in fishes like Sirhinus, Stromateius, as also Harpodon, which has a very high digestibility coefficient, which makes it a very valuable source of um, digestibility coefficient. Yeah. Dear learners, we should also know a very important aspect about fishes, and that is nutritional value of a raw fish. The nutritional value of raw fish is higher as compared to other animals. The special feature of fish flesh is that it has a less amount of stroma protein, which is of low nutritional value. It is an excellent source of essential amino acids, which forms an important part of human food. The raw fish flesh has nearly one-fourth of the calories required by human beings per day. It has the necessary proteins and nearly half the quantity of fat. The raw fish flesh has 50% of phosphorus, 30% of vitamin B and 12, and 100% of niacin. That is a very, very important feature as required by humans. The nutritional value of preserved and processed fish. As you all must be aware, the nutritional value of preserved and processed fish is less than the nutritional value of raw fish because the disintegration of fishes start very quickly, and this is due to enzymatic action and also the action of the microorganisms. The following changes take place which reduces the nutritional value of fishes. The first is the exudation. The phenomena of drip occurs before freezing. This increases during freezing and defrosting, and this results in the drop of protein contents. The other is the cooking. Cooking at 60 degrees centigrade causes exudation, and boiling causes lesser loss of nutritional value, and frying causes excessive loss of amino acids, various amino acids like valine, lysine, leucine. So you all must take care because before eating, you should see which process suits you better, and frying should be the last option. Friends, you must be knowing that canning is also required, but canning does not cause any reduction of nutritional value. Moreover, iodine, heat stable vitamins like vitamin A, D, B12, and essential amino acids are also not lost. But canning causes reduction of vitamin B2, pantothenic acid, and vitamin C, etc. Salting and smoking. This results in reduction of protein content. Salting reduces it by 1% to 5%. Smoking reduces it by 8% to 30%. And salting also reduces its digestibility. Last is the freezing. Protein content is reduced. It also causes rancidity. Vitamin E is also destroyed in freezing. Now, friends, a very important aspects of fishes for all, that is the health benefits of fishes and fish oils. Fishes are considered as one of the most heart healthy foods. Observational studies have shown that people who eat fish regularly have a lower risk of heart attacks, strokes, and death from heart diseases. Eating fishes improves immunity, which helps in fighting infections. Being good source of calcium, fishes are beneficial for good, healthy bones and muscle growth too. Fishes and fish oils help in treating depression and anxiety, which are the order of the day. As good source of vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids, they are good for healthy skin and hair. Certain fishes like tuna protect skin and kidneys against infections. Studies have also shown that fishes reduce the risk of breast, colon, and kidney cancer. They promote the development of body and muscles. They aid in improving blood circulation and metabolism and also help to reduce blood pressure. They help to prevent inflammatory diseases such as arthritis, osteoporosis, and gout. Then fishes like tilapia and many others are also beneficial in weight conscious people, helping in the reduction of weight. Well, there is a long list of the benefits of fish and fish oils. Fish oil supplements may also treat or prevent skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema. Fish oils can help to treat photosensitivity. Fish oils also help in treating some cases of mental health disorders, allergies, and certain types of cancer. Fish oils are also beneficial for treating migraines, epilepsy, gout, chronic fatigue syndrome, and they are also used for treating sickle cell anemia, muscular degeneration, and other eye conditions, ulcerative colitis, and multiple sclerosis. Now, fishes are and their oils are also good for skin and skin related issues like puffiness, blotching, acne, and many others. Fish oils are also beneficial in natural hormone optimization. They provide essential proteins and nutrients to hair follicles and skin also. They prevent hair follicle inflammation, a factor that directly contributes to hair loss. Well, as you can see, health benefits of omega-3 is one of the most important benefit of fishes, and we have compiled certain benefits like omega-3 controls the cholesterol level. It helps to reduce the blood pressure, the risk of heart diseases. It controls and prevents diabetes, and also so many other benefits which you can see in this picture. And also the fish oil, which has several benefits which we have put in a picture, and you can very well see how fish is important for all of us. Well, as it is said all that glitters is not gold. There are certain risk factors also, which we have compiled so that you must be aware before consuming fishes, because all is not good about fishes, and you should be aware of certain factors which can be harmful. There are certain contaminants of fishes, and these are present only in some fishes. The contaminants which are commonly found in fishes include mercury, polychlorinated biphenyls, that is PCBs, dioxins, and pesticide residues. Very high levels of mercury can damage nerves in adults and disrupt development of brain and nervous system of the developing fetus. Mercury, especially, is a naturally occurring element that can become a part of fish food chain, and it gets stored in their flesh. Every fish contains some amount of mercury, which is not a potential threat if present in normal amounts. However, anthropogenic activities like combustion, energy generation, causes more and more release of mercury, which makes its way to the water bodies and ultimately to the fishes. Actually, in the oceans, the mercury is initially acted upon by bacteria, which converts it into methyl mercury. This is taken up by the microorganisms, and as fishes feed on them, it forms an important part of its food. So, this fish meat becomes very toxic, mercury being present in high concentration. Then other contaminants in fishes. Number of contaminants entering the food chain increases in water due to industrial waste and chemicals being washed into oceans. Some of these contaminants are heavy metals like lead, polychlorinated biphenyls, chlordane, and even DDT. Fishes that graze on the oceanic grounds are more toxic than, and they are thus unhealthy to eat. Well, due to the presence of mercury and other contaminants, the health regulating bodies have issued advisories. These advisories include high risk vulnerable groups to stay away from high mercury level containing fishes. And the primary concern with fish and mercury is in infants and young children, as their developing nervous system are vulnerable to harmful effects of mercury. Pregnant as well as nursing mothers should be extremely careful about choosing the edible fishes, and they are advised by the experts to avoid sea fishes like swordfish, tuna, and shark, and eat fishes like rohu, hilsa, surmai, that is the kingfish, for healthy, nutritious diet. Well, here's a list of certain fishes which you can consume without any danger of being contaminated by mercury, because these fishes are having low mercury content. They include certain fishes like nettles, pomfrets, catfishes, clam, whitefish, herring, that is hilsa, mackerel, that is locally called bangada, and also oysters. Then we have uh, salmon, sardines, scallop, shrimp, sole, squid, tilapia, and trout also, which are low in mercury content. Well, there are certain fishes which have moderate mercury content, and you can easily consume them or eat them, but they should be taken in smaller quantities, and that is up to servings per month. They include bluefish, grouper, that is kalawa. And besides these, the fishes having high mercury content, which should be avoided, are sharks, swordfish, and also tuna, which, because they have high mercury content, which is dangerous. Well, this is a compilation of the pictures of the fishes which have high, medium, and low mercury content. As you can see, the fishes with high mercury content include sharks, medium includes tuna and halibut, and low mercury content fishes include salmon, sardines, etc. Care should be taken before eating these fishes, and just look at the list of these fishes which should be avoided. The first you can see blue fin tuna. Here, one thing is very important that World Wildlife Fund has put bluefin tuna in the list of threatened species. So, dear zoologists, the learners, and all the researchers, please do take care that you should never eat this fish. Then there is other fish also like salmon and orange ruffly, monkfish, grouper. They should be avoided. And besides these, there is red lionfish, which is Pterois volitans, which has a certain amount of venom. So you should take care that this is not eaten by chance because it may harm you. You must take cue from this list of healthiest Indian fishes because it is important from the Indian context, and we have compiled a list of fishes which are very, very important as a nutrition in the Indian context. And you can see how these affect us and also our dietary requirements. Ravas or Indian salmon, it is one of the most popular edible fishes and it is widely available in India, famous for its pink to orange meat. And its nutritional content, you can see that it has maximum omega 3, that is 2260 milligrams, and also the total calories is only 206. Well, all fish eating people must have heard about katla because it is widely found in the lakes and rivers of North India and Assam. And also, it is very popular among the Bengal region. You can just see that the omega 3 content is 902 milligram, and also the total calories is very less, that is 162. One thing is also important is that it has, although it has mercury, the mercury is a moderate level mercury, and thus katla can be safely taken. The next important fish from the Indian context is Labio rohita or rohu, which is of the carp family, and it is also widely available in North and Central India. And as you can see in this table, the cholesterol content is nil, whereas the omega 3 and 6 is also high, that is 1 gram, and the total calories is also very low, that is 97 calories. The next in list is Rani or pink perch, and as the name indicates, it is pink in color, and it has only 4 to 5% of body fat. Uh, in addition to omega 3 and 6, it it is also demanded by the athletes because of its high protein source, which is 25 grams, and it is very popular amongst those who require protein in their diets. Next in list is king mackerel with a very, very beautiful name, that is surmai, and it is the main fish found in South India and also regions like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. And the important thing is, although it is rich in protein, omega 3, and other minerals, it has a slightly high content of mercury also. But we must take care before taking this fish, and adults who are normal can have this fish once in a week. Next in list is pomfret, which is also popularly known as Indian butterfish, and it is vastly found in South Asia, including Indian Ocean. The important thing is that this fish is not oily and it has white meat, which is highly delicious. And silver, white, and black pomfret are the two most popularly sold fishes in India. And besides omega 3, that is 1230 milligrams, the total calorie content is 175. Another popular Indian fish is hilsa. This is also known as herring or ilish and very popular among the people residing in West Bengal and other regions like Odisha, Assam, Andhra Pradesh, and Gujarat. And the important thing is the high amount of omega 3 content. And as you can see in this table, the omega 3 is 2418 milligrams. Next in the list is sardine, and sardines are named after island of Sardinia, which is in the Mediterranean Sea. And these are internationally found, small in size, and they are also found in the salt waters of Pacific and Atlantic oceans. And one of the most important qualities of sardine is its blood thinning quality, and hence it is also very beneficial in burning fat, and also they are considered as better than medicines because they are of great nutritional value and known as powerhouses of nutrition. Continuing with the nutritional value of sardine, the omega 3 fatty acids and omega 6 fatty acids, as you can see in the table, are high in these fishes. Besides these, zinc, the quantity of zinc is also high, that is 3.1 milligram. And zinc, as you know, is also very helpful in increasing the immunity of the body. And sardines have 208 calories per 100 grams of weight. As we come to the last endings of this presentation, we all come to know that fishes are among the highest and the uh, healthiest food on this planet. High in the sense that they contain important nutrients such as high quality protein, iodine, and various vitamins such as vitamin D and minerals. And they are also of great medicinal value because they have the potential of lowering the risk of heart attacks and strokes. And besides this, they are also should be taken in moderation because certain fishes do have certain risk factors which we have already discussed, the presence of mercury, the presence of other contaminants. So we should be taken in moderation and also under proper advice to the vulnerable groups. So the tagline that fishes have got it all Whatever you want, whatever you need is all present there. Only you should be careful before taking or before eating fishes. Fishes have got it all. Before I say thank you and before I conclude, this is not the end. This is just a beginning of our forthcoming series of presentations on very important topics of interest and utility based on exhaustive studies and for the benefit of learners, researchers, and academicians. Please do share your views so that we can incorporate those to improve our content. As we bid farewell to you, I, on behalf of Dr. Rakesh Kumar Singh and myself, Dr. Rekha Srivastava, will meet you soon with another topic of utility and benefit.